Guys, I'm at IFM 31 with DJ. How are you?
Pretty, pretty well. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Are you excited for today?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. The first IFM of the year, so I hope we get a good performance out of today.
Definitely, definitely. So tell me, how did you discover IFM?
So I actually discovered IFM at a place called the HQ a long, long time ago, about 2 years ago. I used to be a Smash player. I play Smash all the time. That's where I went to get practice. Then I met Brandon, and Brandon used to have these little handshake dojos at his house every Tuesday. I used to pull up, and it was free for Tekken practice. So that's how I got in, and then I started playing IFM, and that's all was rolled out.
A lot of these talks about the handshake, where you guys, it was basically was it at Brandon's house?
It was the handshake house. Like it was a little it was a group of FG all people from all out in the FGC, and they we all gathered together and we play there, and that's how we kind of got a really close knit family feel out at IFM.
Yeah, and that's something people have touched on is having that family feel. And Retta disclosed it as the Southern hospitality, which I 110% agree. I always love coming down south, especially Atlanta and different places like that. But since we touched on that, what do you like most about IFM?
Not to sound like a broker, the family feel. Like I like that we're not here just playing the game. We're here playing with our friends. Like the reason I come to IFM to play is to hang out with my friends and get better. If I didn't if I didn't want to beat Beneli and Xiao so badly, I probably wouldn't keep playing Tekken because like they're so good. I'm tired of losing to them, so I'm gonna come back and beat them this time. I haven't beat them yet, but we're getting close. We're getting close.
I respect that so much because I've gone to locals before where, and it's only like a 10-man bracket or something like that. And, player gets called, okay, you gotta fight Victeemo, or okay, you gotta fight Sol Naciente, or okay, maybe even in your case, okay, you have to play DJ, and then you see the other player go, oh, man, why do I gotta play DJ again?
Yeah. And see, the thing is, like, I like, okay, you can't go in that mentality. Like, if whoever I'm playing, I'm going in, I'm going to win this game. No matter what, it could be Anakin, it could be Victeemo, it could be Knee. I'm going in. I'm going in with the mentality I'm going to win. If I lose, I lose. But I'm trying my best.
Something I try to be in the people's brains is confidence is first. It doesn't matter how much you know about the game. It's all about preparation, how you're feeling, what you eat, how much sleep you got that day. If you're not feeling good, you're not feeling confident, you're not going to press any buttons at all. It's going to be a wash.
Oh, I 100% agree. One day, one IFM, I had like a Chick-fil-A for lunch. Oh man, I was tired the whole day. I think I went like 1-2. It was a bad day, but I was like, oh man, I'm not thinking at all. So I'm a big preacher on eat well before bracket. Eat something that's not gonna like slow you down. That's the DJ advice for the day.
And my thing is, I like to eat fish if I can find it in the morning, like at majors and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely things that are going to help the brain, not hinder it. So like you said, Chick-fil-A, like something really heavy, and then different things like that, like greasy food. No, it's just not going to happen. So tell me, what is your favorite memory here at IFM?
Okay, I can't remember the exact IFM, but a long time ago, ATL pulled up with Greg, JJ Breeze. Oh, it was tons of people. And on stream it was Greg versus Ethamitsu. And so like if you know who Ethan is as a player, that's the ultimate wild card Tekken player I've ever met in my life. There's every Yoshi's different, but like Ethan is just super different. He's a wild card, and like he's probably one of my favorite players to play. And like we're all gathered around because it's like the second game on stream today. So like we're all gathered around, hype. Sets are stopped, and Ethan pulls out flash, blocked by Greg, no punish, flash again. Oh my gosh, he did it again, and like we're all just jumping off the seat and everything. It was and Ethan put it away on game 3. That was probably one of my favorite sets of all time. Even though it's like probably like just a random set off the block, it's my favorite set. I always think about it. It's so fun.
It's so funny you bring that memory up because when I interviewed Ethamitsu, he was talking about that was his as well, fighting against Greg, because the ATL crew, and has been this way for many, 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 many years, they're probably the hypest community and for shit talk, which I think is needed in the FGC.
It's so funny. I love shit talk. I love for fun shit talk, I'm always gonna just get my shits off. It just because like I'm not gonna get my ass beat and then not talk. Yeah, it's not. I'm not gonna just sit silently and be bored while I'm losing. So I'm gonna have my fun. But it's ATL is like very they shit talk, but they're like our friends too. Like they're not attacking us where we. And so it was a very fun experience. ATL brings it out of us too. So like we talk shit back. So that was a really fun experience for me.
Yeah, I definitely want to get back down to ATL sometime soon. And the thing is, like, some people these days see shit talk as like a negative thing. I feel like it's like a negative reinforcement. And since you touched on the ATL, and even here, from what I noticed, like you shit talk, but you at least give them advice afterwards. So people shouldn't be scared to ask for advice, even though shit talks have. It's just it's part of the game, you know. My last question for you is, who are your main characters and why?
Okay, Tekken 7, I was a Jin player. I started off they said, "Why'd you learn this hard character, Jin? Jin is the guy." Played Jin all the way for the that 1 year played the game, and then Tekken 8, I saw Jin. I'm like, "Yo, she's cool. I'm gonna play her." And I just did. I like how she played. I'm a very defensive player, and she meshed well with me. But recently, might play a little bit of Asuka. Very coming soon. Very coming soon.
So you really like those active defense characters. I feel like being a Nina main, I already have mental stack going into the match because I'm like, okay, when are you going to throw out can-cans? When are you going to throw out reversal? When are you going to throw out Sabaki? So I think that's a good character to have the one-up on somebody that plays a offensive character and an aggressive heavy game in general. So I think that's all the questions that I have for you. Go ahead and let the viewers know what your tag is, where to find you, whatever you want to throw at them. It's all on the table.
My name is DJ. You can find me on Twitter at the kid called D or X, whatever. That's about it. I don't have many social. Oh, stream. I started streaming recently just to like show my ranked progress. It's DJ Locked In. There we go.
Gotcha. Thank you so much for the interview. Hey guys, I'm here with Riddum at IFM 31. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Bit of a drive out here, but it's awesome, man. Like 45 people for a local on off season it's pretty nice.
It is really nice. It's definitely to prepare for the next TWT for sure. How long did you have to drive?
Here is about a 3.5 hour drive for me from where I live, but this is one of the farther ones. But it's IFM. It's the biggest local we have here in North Carolina, so like it's fine with me driving that far.
So since we touched on that a little bit already, how did you discover IFM?
Originally, I was just looking for some offline locals here in North Carolina when I moved here, and I saw there was a couple in Raleigh, and that's where I had met people like Brandon and Hendo, and then they kind of told me about the rest of the locals they have here, the Zephyr Arcade place, IFM eventually, and the RDU scene. So just meeting those guys, they're super good and a good offline play is something that I really look forward to if I can, and it has been hard for me. So it's just anytime I get the chance, I just try and come out here.
I gotcha. And you're a pretty high performer online and offline. Do you have any rivals here?
Here, I'd say my rival is most likely Hendo. Me and him have gone back and forth many times. There's a little stint where I had beat him almost every time in grand finals in every local and regional here in this on the East Coast that we went to. But the latest IFM, I think he had beat me in the winner side in top 8, and then I had lost in the loser bracket, so I didn't get to my rematch, and he won that IFM. So hopefully I can kind of take that crown back today. That's the goal at least.
So is Hendo going to be here today?
I heard he was. I see him. I see his name in the bracket. I haven't seen him show up yet, but I really hope he's here. Just because anytime we play, it's always a good match. It's always back and forth, down to the wire, and afterwards I'm just exhausted, but in a good way.
I hope to see that match if he comes, definitely. Yeah. So tell me, what do you like most about IFM outside of the hype matches?
What I like most about IFM is definitely for sure the community of people here. Some locals you go to, people are cool, sometimes weird, but here there's no weird people. Everybody's so chill, you know what I mean? Even the people who aren't super good pros, they just love playing Tekken, love getting games in. Just the people here are just super chill. Brandon, Hendo, So there's so many people I can name, but it's just that when I come here, it's always cool. It's like, you know, meeting good friends that I haven't even known that long, but it feels that way.
Yeah, it's always nice to meet that person where it's just like you've known them forever. And there are definitely a lot of local scenes out there that are like that. So since we're touching on the community aspect a little bit, tell me, what's your favorite memory here thus far?
My favorite time here in IFM, well, this is probably my second one. But just here in the scene, last year's last IFM was pretty cool. So it was King Ray was here. A lot of the ATL guys were here. Me, Hendo, there's so many good players. And besides some of the big events that I've been to, like DreamHack and Evo, it was just an actual meeting of like some of the best players on the East Coast. So, like I said before, like just having that opportunity to place people offline, it's super fun because, I mean, everybody knows how online is. It's great to play good players, but you can just feel it, right? When you're offline, that like, yeah, this is crisp. This is nice. This is why I love Tekken. So that's my best memory. Is just not even just in tournament, just offline playing like King Ray, Hendo, some of the ATL guys.
Yeah, definitely the offline versus the online experience is vastly different. You don't have the rollback, you don't have all the crazy stuff going on. So when you have like 40 to 50 people coming out to a local like this, like that's a great thing. And it's a great thing for people to train. So my last question is, what main characters do you have and why do you play them?
My main characters, probably right now, my main is Shaheen, but I'm kind of tipping my toes into the Law. I think he's super busted, like really good, but I just need to kind of master him a bit more. But I feel like when you play people who have really understand Law, like Ninja Killa, what's his name, Landon, like it's just why does he have these tools? Why does he have a 10-frame counter launcher? Like so many, I feel like he has so many tools for every situation. Parries, good pokes, mid-range pokes, right? A lot of plus frames. So like as you can see, I like the character, but I'm just not there with him yet, so I'm sticking with Shaheen for the most part. But if I get to like winter side grand finals, I'm probably gonna pull out the Law for that first set.
I hope you make it that far so I can see that, because your Shaheen is crazy. I can't remember if we played online or anything like that, but I know it's it's hell.
I think maybe one time in like the beta of Tekken 8 we played online, but since then I don't think so. We should though. We should.
I'll say I'll be around. I can't play today because of all this going on with the locals unknown and everything, but I'll definitely come back out because it's like a 7-hour drive for me. Oh, but Soul stays with me and like we drive together, so it's literally just 3.5-hour drive each. Yeah, so it's just not bad. Yeah, it's not bad at all. So let the viewers know all your socials, where to find you, any upcoming events you're going to. I know you're really active. Whatever you want to throw at them, go ahead and throw at them.
The only thing I got is you can follow me on X or Twitter at Riddum Enjoyer. Other than that, check out my brother Joe Crush. Streams every day almost. Posts great content on YouTube at TK Joe Crush. I would say check out some of his content. I'm trying to start doing my little bit of my own thing, but I'll let you guys know when that happens on Riddum Enjoyer on X.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
You're good. Hey guys, I'm here with Dandy at IFM 31. How are you doing today?
Honestly, wonderful. I'm hyped about the match today. I'm looking forward to beating some ass.
That sounds awesome. It's pretty stacked in here, so I can't wait to see those matches. So just to get right into it, tell me, how did you discover IFM?
Well, when I moved up to Greensboro from the Tampa area, I realized I kind of missed out by not competing in the Tampa area. So I started looking for a community, and Tekken was the game that really drew me the most. I scrolled through Facebook and some Discords in the Greensboro community. I was fortunate enough to run into Brandometry, who promotes these like crazy, fortunately. So it seems like the hardest thing is getting the actual voice out there, getting people to know that there even is a tournament locally. So fortunately, through Brandometry's promotion, I was able to find the Discord and find IFM, 10 Frame Fridays, and the RDU monthlies around here as well.
That's awesome. And that's kind of something that we're doing, is trying to touch on like that untapped audience that like wants some good ass Tekken. You know what I mean? So for next question, tell me, what do you like most about IFM?
IFM is a really cool community. When I first started coming here, there was a big sense of family. There were people bringing food, home cooked. There's a guy brings cookies every now and again. It's a cool vibe in here. There's a lot of sharing tech, sharing equipment even, and a lot of people putting hands in on making sure that the stream is running correctly, that the bracket's running efficiently, and that everybody's having a good time. The TOs are very hands-on and in a very positive way too. So it's a nice, welcoming environment.
So were you around during I think they were calling it the handshake houses, the handshake house tournaments?
I have been to 2 handshake houses, and the first one, Brandometry rocked me so hard I left in a rage. You can hear J5 calling me out. I think you hurt that guy's feelings. He just left. I'm doing better now. Handshake houses will do that.
Well, sometimes, I mean, I don't know about storming off, right? Because, like, you get a lot of players, and even at locals, where, like, they'll take a loss, and then they kind of forget where they're at. Like, if you, like, take a really hard loss at, like, a major or regional or something like that, I get it. But it's like locals, like, we're here to help everybody. So it's just like, put the emotions aside, ask questions. Because, like, just to put it out there, somebody like me, like, you know, no matter how the match outcome was, you know what I mean? Like, I don't ask questions until, like, somebody questions me. Because if somebody lost, I don't know how they're feeling emotionally. So I don't want to, like, pry. You know what I mean? Usually when I take a hard loss, it's like, it takes me actually, like, a couple days to, like, get into, like, back to normalcy. So just something to put out there, you know? So tell me, what is your favorite memory about IFM so far?
So far, it's got to be... I took out J5, who has been a bracket demon for me since I first started coming out. It was kind of a running joke, right? Every time I'd come to IFM, J5 would be my second match. And it was like this barrier I just could not pass. So the first time I went 3-2, it was 3-2 because I passed J5 in the bracket. And ever since then, he hasn't been that round 2 demon anymore. I can't beat him as much, but I'm getting him round 3 now. So...
What's the average turnout like? Because it sounds like the bracket runners kind of like had that in mind. It sounds like, oh yeah, round two.
They just hated to see Nina succeed. Everybody doesn't want Nina players to succeed. It's riggery, but now that we're getting like 30 to 50 people pretty consistently, so there's enough spread in the bracket. You know, it's pretty well randomized at this point.
And these are monthly, right? They're not like bi-monthly or anything.
That's correct. Iron Fist Monthly is every single month. It's on a Saturday every single month. But we do have the weekly 10-frame Fridays as well. That's every single Friday at the same location so that we can get that experience for the big exam that's every month.
And the 10-frame Fridays, is that in the same venue here every week?
Yep, this is the same Guilford building here in Greensboro, North Carolina. Same TOs and everything. It's a pretty consistent format, so it's real easy to just come by every Friday and play some games.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Thank you for that information. So my last question for you is, you probably already touched on it, but and we've talked about it for sure. Your main character, and why do you main them?
I main Nina because in a game about movement, she's the only one where the movement feels really crispy. And for better or worse, call me a scrub, Ivory Cutter and Geyser Cannon are not only the 2 coolest names for moves in the game, they are the sickest moves to hit in a game. And I will put myself launch punishable every single time just to hit those.
So is it the animation really, or is it just like the ha or whatever she does?
It feels so disrespectful to make your opponent watch you scream in their face and then do a full screen donkey kick launcher. That just fills me with joy.
It's so funny because my teammate Gray thinks that Ice Pick looks exactly the same as Geyser Cannon. And I'm just like, it has to be the sound cue. It just had, because I think that's like the only 2 moves that she has where she does that, like, I'm not going to try to do that again. But that very high pitched scream when she's doing that move. But also back in the day, I think it was also called Divine Cannon until they turned it into Geyser Cannon. I think back before Tekken 3, I want to say, the input wasn't always down back 3 plus 4. It was down back plus 3. And fun fact about that too is in Tekken 5, if you did down back 3 and down back 3+4 is the same move. The down back 3 was actually safe. So just fun little lore on that move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tekken 8 is my first Tekken, so the difficult inputs is something that I never really had to deal with, and I tried to go back to Tekken 7 to see what Nina felt like, and it feels like everything was more difficult in that game just by way of how you input the moves. Even chain grabs felt just weird.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely simplified some stuff, but it's for the best, honestly, because fundamentals will always win at the end of the day, and the good mental game always wins at the end of the day. I think, and like, for another example, like from Tag 2 to Tekken 7, all the way, like from the beginning of Tekken, if you did a backdash, you couldn't block anymore. Like you had to do like a perfect backdash cancel to be able to block again. And so that's something like that they've been kind of doing like throughout the years, making things simpler, and I think it really helped the community. But I think that's all the questions I have. Go ahead and let the viewers know where to find you, your socials, lay it all out on the table, whatever you want to say.
So I am Dandy Raytona of Greensboro, North Carolina. I am not on any social media anywhere. I recently deleted my Twitter. You should too. You can find me on Discord in the IFM/Greensboro FGC community Discord. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Danny. Good. Hey guys, so I'm here at IFM 31 with Ethamitsu.
Hey,
So I'm just gonna ask him a couple questions. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful.
It's great to hear. So I'm just going to ask you some questions about IFM, maybe a couple things about you. So the first thing is, how did you come to discover IFM?
So I had decided I wanted to try to play Tekken competitively. Went online to look up locals in my area and just happened to find IFM, and came across a YouTube video of one of the old that they had, and happened to overhear something about a handshake house where people were meeting up and playing the games. So I got put into contact with Brandon, and ever since then it's just been a snowball effect.
Was the Handshake House like a thing before IFM? Because I saw that they would host some things like in people's houses.
So yeah, it kind of, I think, came around the same time. I'm not entirely sure which came first, but I know after Brandon had seen that there was a scene in Greensboro, he started to open up his house to let people come over and just train and practice. And that, so it's kind of how it was for a while.
I think it's like the prime example that you can host a FGC local pretty much anywhere. So now that we're touching more on IFM, tell me what you like most about IFM.
Honestly, just the setup and the community. I've been to a lot of different tournaments, and nothing really compares to IFM. There's 404 down in Georgia, but if that's the thing you have to compare it to, it's like that's doing pretty good for the East Coast.
Are you anywhere near like 404 in Atlanta?
No, I've been a few times because of Brandon, and actually the first time I went, Brandon put me on and put me in a hotel and everything just so I could get out and compete. And so I've been a few times, but other than that, no, I live actually further away than where Greensboro is located.
Gotcha. Tell me what your favorite memory is at IFM so far.
And I feel like he's gonna hate me for this, but so IFM 14. When I won my first match on stream that I'd ever won on stream, because I always failed on stream, I was against Greg from 404. And the way Atlanta was hyping up the match during, and the way Greensboro was hyping up the match during, there was a major pop-off like right after that, and that energy will always be remembered.
And Greg, he was running 404 at that time, right?
Yeah, he was the 404 final boss. So it was it felt good to have that energy, because my scene really put on for me and his put on for him, and at pop off it was iconic.
Atlanta has a very, very like prime example of what like grassroots FGC is, and everybody is always hype. So that makes sense. It ties it together like really well. So my last question is, what main character do you play and why do you play them?
So I play Yoshimitsu, and the reason I play Yoshimitsu is because when I was a little kid, there was a Tekken 3 cab at the theater my mom worked at, and I would always see him, and in my mind I was like, he's a space ninja that has a lightsaber. and that just blew my mind. So after my friend, he tried to get me into Tekken, but he started with Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I recognized Yoshi in that game because he had the same design, and he introduced me to Tekken 6 just as a, for fun game. And I've just stuck with it forever. So after I went competitive, I was like, nah, we're going to use Yoshi. I don't care if he's good in 7 or not.
Have you played Soul Calibur? He's in Soul Calibur as well, so.
I tried, but honestly, because it's the same character with different buttons to press, it always confused me coming back between the games. So when I would play Soul Calibur, I'd play with like anybody else but Yoshimitsu, just to be like, all right, let's not confuse ourselves here.
Yeah, he's definitely a lot different in Soul Calibur for sure. So I think that's all the time that we have for now. I need to get to the next person and get on with IFM. I know the bracket is going to be pretty entertaining. It's like almost 50 people, I think. So good luck in the bracket for sure. For sure. Go ahead and shout out to everybody, to the viewers, what your tag is and where to find you.
Gotcha. So you can find me on YouTube and Twitter at Ethamitsu FGC. That's the @ but you can just type in Ethamitsu to find me. And then I want to say it's Ethamitsu, just Ethamitsu on Twitch.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See, it's pretty easy.
Hey guys, I'm at IFM 31 with Beneli. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm great. So I'm just going to ask you a couple questions. So tell me, how did you discover IFM?
I opened Twitter one day and this was summer 2021. I just downloaded Twitter to look at, combo videos, and I saw Brandon had tweeted about people in Greensboro wanting to play Tekken. I was like, I don't live far from Greensboro, so I DM'd him. A few months later, IFM happens. I showed up my first ever offline tournament. So the only person I knew was Brandon because I had, messaged him on Twitter, and here we are. So
Randometry is definitely mentioned a lot during these interviews, and my flowers go out to him for keeping such a great outreach to the players and helping them discover this place. So what do you like most about IFM?
The people, right? If you are someone who this is your first tournament ever and you go 0-2, or if you're someone who's going to make top 8, regardless of your performance, you're going to have fun. I've met a lot of friends through this tournament that I otherwise may not have ever met them, right? And, we'll hang out outside of the tournament. I like hanging out with all these people, but I can also do offline Tekken, right, at a tournament. And that's easily the best part. So regardless of how I do today, I'm going to have fun. So.
And that's the most important thing. I think having fun, you learn more rather than being salty or getting sweaty in between the matches. And that's what locals are all about. It's all about socializing. It's all about, teaching each other tech, showing each other things like, hey, don't do this here, don't do that there. You should be doing this, you should be doing that. So, just for the people out there, just to let them know, it's good to ask questions. Don't get too sweaty about things. So for my next question for you is, what is your favorite memory about IFM?
My favorite memory? There's a lot of good memories. You think?
Yeah, you're good.
One day I'd like to be able to win one, and I'd say that. But until then, probably when Mr. Joel won IFM. This was when we were over in the venue by Food Lion. He beat Chop in grand finals, and he hit the Tiger Woods arm. He did that. He looked over. I was like, yeah, that's Mr. Joel. Probably that. That was a really cool moment. So.
Xiao also mentioned that same moment, and I have another moment too where Ethamitsu was playing Greg. That two people. So I'm glad that your guys' answers are lining up. So I think it really shows the depth of how close you guys are, and I love that. I think we're kind of running in the crunch time here, okay. So I'm gonna have to ask you to shout out to the viewers, all of your socials, tags, where to find you, whatever you want to throw at them, just put it on the table.
So my tag is Beneli, BENELI. It's Beneli_TK on Twitter, all caps Beneli_lowercase TK. I'm not super active on Twitter. I'm a retweet account really. I don't do a lot. I occasionally stream, same exact as Twitter, Beneli underscore TK on Twitch. I show up to the locals, I hang out. I'm not super active on social media or streaming, so if you want to find me, you come to Greensboro.
Yeah, come to your locals. Thank you, Beneli. We're good. Hey guys, I'm here with J5 at IFM 31. How are you?
Quite all right.
It's good to hear. Good to hear you excited for today.
Yeah, quite excited.
It's about like almost 50 entrants, I think, so it's going to be pretty wild in there. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions. And so basically my first one is, how did you discover IFM?
IFM basically was born out of necessity. Brandon and I kind of been in the community for a while, and we wanted to bring Tekken back to kind of central North Carolina, Greensboro area. We had pockets in RDU area and Charlotte, but we want to bring everybody back to where we back in the heyday of Tekken 5. So we kind of got some local areas, and we just kind of kicked it off from there. And then IFM is kind of was just born from that.
So what steps did you guys have to take to create such a big community here? Because you guys definitely have fostered a big community, and you guys are really close from what I can see.
A lot of it was just branching out to connections, just building relationships with people. Brandon is, I don't know if people know, but he's actually a school teacher by day. So he's really good with personalities, dealing with people, talking with people, even just communicating and just bringing new people in. And me being in the community for so long, almost 20 years, that I've just kind of reached out to old contacts and just kind of brought old names back, and they reached out and kind of got from there.
That makes sense. That's something I kind of touched on when I was covering Locals Unknown at Donatos, where I was basically, having a conversation with the TO about, learning the personalities match up, versus the players, like learning the character matchups. So I think him coming from that background and you having the connections that you have definitely help foster that, the community that is here. So tell me, what do you like the most about IFM?
I like that people could just kind of touch base with people they haven't seen in a while. And it's, you're also seeing a lot of people grow. Hendo, we talk about that. Like, he's probably like one of arguably the top player in North Carolina. I remember when he was coming to locals and he was getting beaten by day 3 Shaheen. And he went and became a lab monster. And then also just touching base with people like Ace, Dom, I haven't seen. And, I took 10 years off of Tekken, believe it or not. And just touching base with him and seeing when he was still a teenager, and now he's, traveling around. He's, 37 grown man. So now he's actually enjoying it, and, he's coming into himself, and he's got a career and everything too. So it's just nice seeing people just grow.
I definitely agree. And 10 years, that's quite a long time staying away from the FGC. Was it like a culture shock for you coming back? What was different? What changed?
No, it wasn't a culture shock. It was like putting on an old sweatshirt. Basically just being comfortable back in it, and then surprising a lot of the young guys that never seen me, and just basically, oh, this old guy knows how to break throws pretty easily. And so a lot of it is just fun, and then just also a lot of stuff we talked about that a lot of new guys don't do, like mental awareness, just the psychological aspect, conditioning, stuff like that, especially with a lot of new guys where they deal with anxiety, and teach them how to deal with that too during mid-tournaments.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what's your favorite memory at IFM thus far?
Favorite memory, I mean, this is a little controversial, but I want to say the mortgage matches, the $2,000 money matches. Yeah.
Wait. So how many like matches? Like first to 20, first to 30? Like that's a crazy number.
The first one was first at I think 10 or 15. It was 1,000, and then they did again the 2,000 for like I think it was 20 or 25, but it was ridiculous.
That's insane. Do you think that something like that could happen again in these days?
Depends on the egos. We're more than welcome. We'll host it, whatever. People travel for that. But like when you literally have money matches that's more than 10 times the amount of pot winnings, it's crazy.
I like the name of it too. What is the name of it again?
We call it the mortgage match.
We might have to bring that back. We create like a high rollers club, Tekken 6 stage.
Yeah.
So for my last question, what characters do you main and why?
This is a very controversial question too, because I do the random select. Right now it's been kind of Claudio, only because he's just kind of comfortable. But throughout all different Tekkens, I've played Eddie / Chris D. I played a lot of the Mishimas. But Ace still gives me crap about not picking a character, only because I'm here for fun. You know, it's never been about like always having to win. It's about learning all the stuff and sharing that knowledge with people.
People tend to forget that if you're not having fun, you're not learning. So I think that's a really good point to touch on. You know, if you're too worried about winning, you're not paying attention to what's happening on the screen. Sometimes when I'm playing, I'll forget what round we're on. And then when it's done, it's like, oh, wait a minute. I mean, I've given people handshakes and fist bumps before, and it was just the first game. And I was like so locked in, I thought that it was 2 games. So I think that's all that I have for you. If you could do me a favor and just shout out to everybody, your tag, socials, you know, wherever to find you.
Pretty much, I am JNY5, pretty much on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want to find me. Facebook, you can find me through Brandon's. My first name is Rensme. I'm probably the only Rensme unless Twilight wants to ruin that my rest of my life. But pretty much from there, that's where you can find me, and I'm always available. You guys can find me on Top 8 on commentary.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm here with Xiao at IFM 31. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Are you prepared for the big event today? I think there's like 50 people.
Yeah, 50 is crazy. I really feel like we're kind of in the middle. Well, like we're the base because like we're in the middle of Raleigh and Charlotte. So like this is the place where like they come to meet, because I feel like they never really get to interact with each other, because that's a long drive back and forth between Raleigh and Charlotte. So we're really like in the middle, so it's perfect.
Gotcha. And sometimes ATL comes up here sometimes, don't they?
Yeah, Brandon has ties. I think he lived down there for a while. Well, like he spent every summer down there or something like that.
So tell me, how did you discover IFM?
Okay, funny enough, what I did was I went to Twitter with the Twitter search bar. I typed in North Carolina Tekken, and Brandon Twitter page popped up. It was like one of the first IFMs, like IFM 2 or 3. But I know the first one had like a lot of popularity down here because Hendo was there. I think Mac won.
Okay.
But yeah, that was really my first introduction. I've been like, I wanted a scene for a long time. I never knew like most of these people is just like outside of Ace Unlimited, like you know Ace, right?
Yeah.
Like Ace Unlimited, that's been like the only guy I knew down here. But like, it's just crazy to know that this is here the whole time. And I'm glad Brendan decided to come to Greensboro and start all this.
Yeah, and this is during the people keep bringing up the handshake house.
Oh yeah. We had oh my God, that was crazy. We had a monthly at the Handshake House, and that was a good time. It's crazy to think about how far we came just in the span of 2-3 years. Like a lot has changed. It was like if I tell myself like when I was a kid, like 13, like if I could tell myself what I'd be doing right now, I'd be playing Tekken every weekend with people offline, I would probably cry. I wanted this for so long. I'm not gonna lie.
So the main pinpoint of this series is to try to get that untapped community and to try to get more people to like support their locals and things like that. And when people tell me, oh, you know, I just found this tournament from, you know, Google search or Twitter or, you know, wherever. And it's just like, what prompted you to do that? You know what I mean? Like, you know, I wonder if there's a scene for this or something like that.
Mm-hmm. What prompted me to do it, I guess, was watching so many like offline tournaments, like the majors, and then you know you always hear about like the Atlanta scene is crazy. You got the California scenes, the New York. You know, like watching you and other players offline getting to compete, right? It's cool. So like you want to do that yourself, right? So
True. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So tell me, what do you like most about IFM?
I would say the people. The people makes it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the game is cool. Like, of course everybody's here. They love the game, but the people is what really like matters the most.
So to touch on the people aspect, what would be your favorite memory here at IFM so far? I mean, you've been here since basically the beginning. I mean, the second or third one. So what would be your favorite memory thus far?
It would have to be when Mr. Joel beat Pochop. He beat Pochop in grand finals, and he got up, and he lifted his fist up in the air like, it was like this. I was like,
Is this online somewhere? Like, can we find that?
I'm really not sure. The thing, I don't think anybody like could have even predicted that I was gonna have it. Like, I don't think anybody was like actually recording, and I don't think the cams were like on at that time. I don't remember if the camera was on, but
I remember last time I was here, I actually had to fight Mr. Joel in Grands last time I was here. He was wiping everybody out. So Mr. Joel is definitely somebody to look out for. So my last question for you is, who are your main characters and why are they your main characters?
Okay. You asked the wrong person that question because when I first like started playing offline, well, the beginning. My favorite two characters are Jin and Horon. But I really couldn't compete with them at the beginning at first because they were really hard for me to like try to get into and beat people who are like obviously way better than me. So I got lazy. I picked the easy route. I used Kunimisu. So Tekken 7, I'm really just a Kunimisu player, a little bit of Horon. Jin, I couldn't play Jin in 7. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't good enough for 7 to play Jin. But yeah, Tekken 8, Jin, Horon, and Lily. Lily is my like Kunimisu replacement for like the movement and really just the movement.
Yeah, sometimes you have to pick characters that's going to like force you to learn the fundamentals of the game. And I feel like maybe Jin would be good at this point, but I think he might take like a escape route, like a shortcut.
Yeah.
But somebody like Harang just starting out, like, and some people would be like, I really like Nina, but I'm new to the game. I'm just like, are you sure you want to do this?
Yes.
Like, really? But that's all the questions that I have for you. Just do me a favor and shout out to the viewers where to find you, your socials, whatever you want to lay out on the table, just let them know.
Yeah, my Twitter is Xiao, XIAONC_. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Loves it.